Salvete omnes, canicus mihi nomen est. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the DDO free-to-play experiment. So far, the results of my experiment are I am having fun. I do not yet feel the lack of a universal enhancement tree that might make this character a little bit more effective. Ideally, I would like to have intelligence to hit and damage, which the easiest way to get that is through the Harper Agent tree. I could also multi-class a little bit into Alchemist. I think level 4, Alchemist level 4 is when I could pick up intelligence to hit and damage, which I don't really want to sacrifice Wizard for that, but Vile Chemist Alchemist combined with Eldritch Knight wouldn't be the craziest thing in the world. That might be an interesting build to do at some point after I purchase Alchemist. Might have to write that one down. But I am definitely playing this as a character that hits things with axe more than worrying about my spell DCs. And so
a mangled sewer grate leads to an old
building on my strength rather than my intelligence is not really going to hamper my playstyle all that much. Well, this isn't too terrible. I'm definitely not going to hit my experience cap by the time I finish. Well, actually, Misery's Peak is actually worth a good bit of experience, so I'm not entirely sure what the end result of that is going to be. But you know, I'm not so far to level 4 that you know, that it's just ridiculous, because it's really just this and then Misery's Peak. I do wonder whether or not it will be practical to run all of the level 2 quests on normal, hard, and elite. I have a feeling that it will not be super practical to do that. But we'll see. I don't... And also, the issue is it practical on a First Life character? After I reincarnate this character, which will be another dwarf character, will it be another Eldritch Knight? I don't know. It's possible. No, it will still be a free-to-play race and class with free-to-play trees, because I need to remember that, at least for the foreseeable future, Ethelwolf is going to only cover content that is available when someone signs up for free-to-play. I think it's important that I at least do enough reincarnations to get to where the experience required caps out. So I think by your 3rd or 4th reincarnation, I'll have to look it up. Again, I'm really not all that experienced with reincarnating, but I believe after your 3rd or 4th reincarnation, the amount of experience required to level up is the same. It stays put. And so by that time, I will have answered the question of, can you get to level cap? Can you get to 30 only on free-to-play content? unpurchased content. And after that, I'm not just going to stop playing this character. Crixaflammus is intended to be my primary character. And so I'm going to be looking... Well, I mean, I want to do Completionist, and if I'm going to do Completionist, I'm going to have to buy all the classes, I'm going to have to buy all the races. You know, over time, I'm going to have to accumulate all of that stuff. So in the meantime, I will be using my I'll be using my lives to see if it's possible to stay on free-to-play content, and it may not. Like it might be first or second life where I come to the conclusion that it's not possible to do this solely on free-to-play content. And you know what? That's really not that bad, right? I know that that might sound like if that were to be the case, that would be a knock on DDO. But if that's the case, what we're going to do, at whatever point it becomes time to start using expanded content, we're going to look at how many DDO points that I've earned over the course of that play. Both what I've earned total across the board and also what I've earned specifically with Crixaflammus, and establish, you know, what content could I have purchased if I haven't purchased any? What adventures could I have purchased that would have expanded my ability to level up? And, you know, if it's possible to purchase, you know, 3 or 4 quest packs by the time you start running out of steam, then that just means that it's completely practical to play free to play, right? I mean, that is a perfectly valid way to play free to play. I'm putting an artificial constraint on this character, saying it's only going to play on what's available initially on a free-to-play account, when, you know, I will be purchasing quest packs and races and other things in the meantime. So I just want to know, is it possible? And frankly, I think it would be ideal if DDO did provide enough free-to-play content to play through, reincarnate a few times, and if not do the completionist, at least get to that point where the experience cap gets out, so that you can there's always enough content to get to 30. You know, by that time I'll be able to run quests on Elite from the first, and so the amount of time required is going to go down. I can choose to do like Elite, Hard, and Normal, or do Reaper mode to level up faster, which is a whole nother thing. But do you have to play on Reaper to level up with the content available? That's another question to ask, right? And some of you that are like really familiar with DDO and really familiar with the information on the wiki and stuff like that, maybe you've gone and done the math, and you know for a fact that here's, you know, where, you know, this is the experience points earning potential, and it is possible or it's not possible, you know. And you may very well be right. You may very well be correct in your assessment of what is possible. I am going for lack of a better word, the feel of it. And what I mean by that is, just based off of how I want to play, is it possible to accomplish these goals? You know, I am not going to go through and try and earn every single possible bit of experience points. Wizardry 19. Ooh, I like that. So I can take off the discarded ring. I know these are going to be useful later, but I'm going to get enough of them, and I don't have a bag right now to open them. Okay. So I don't think there's any chance of me hitting the cap for experience before Misery's Peak, but I do have a good bit of level 2 content to run after that. So we'll see at what point I stop earning experience points. But again, once I reincarnate, it's going to be much more difficult to get to that point. And then after I reincarnate again, it's going to be more difficult still. And then possibly another step up beyond that. I'm not really sure. So at some point, it's going to get a little bit more complicated. So I will see you next time for Misery's Peak. That will be a slightly longer episode because Misery's Peak is just a little longer. Gratias vobis ago. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Leave me a comment with your experience with leveling and what you think is possible, and your thoughts based off of your experience, but also your predictions based off of the math or whatever of where you think, if at all, this character is going to stall out. Like, where am I likely to hit a road bump? Where am I likely to start running out of steam with just free-to-play content? Some of you know that already. I don't. And whether you give me that information or not in the comments, I'm still going to continue to see how that works out for me with my play style, my choices, because there's so many variables that everybody can have a different experience playing this game every single time. Si valetis, ego valeo, valete.